Danny Spencer is an Australian session musician legend. He's played with Jimmy Barnes, Richard Clapton, Daryl Braithwaite, Ian Moss, John Stevens, Bonnie Anderson, a plethora of Australian rock royalty. And if you need the best, he's the guy you call. So we came down to Memo Hall to see his setup and what he uses and how he gets the best sounds for Richard Clapton. What do you want to bring when you're a session player? What's kind of that? Yeah.
I think it sounds really obvious, but it's important to really listen to what you're in, with the band you're in, and the singer.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, playing the fastest, most glamorous things, sometimes, I find that the singers always appreciate if you're listening to them and not playing over them and trying to fit
100%.
into the band, but being able to kind of also bring something when it's required, but be able to sit in when you're not needed, and just being flexible and listening, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess from there, now show's called Strings Attached. Where did music start having strings attached for you? What was the first moment for you?
When I was a teenager and just just noodling around at home, and I don't know, whatever you're going through as a teenager, you got a bit, I don't know, what do you call it, like moody or whatever. But,
I don't know what you're talking about.
But but then just playing, going noodling around for an hour, the time goes missing, and you come out of there. I remember coming out of there feeling like, I feel, you feel you're, had a bit of a release, and you express yourself on the instrument. And so I think that's when I realised, there's something about this that's cathartic.
Yeah.
It's not just about, playing. So it's a real, I guess, personal thing between you and your instrument, and what it does for you, whether you're playing a gig or not, So,
and I guess also back then, what was the first guitar? What's the first love? I guess.
Well, my dad had a nylon string classical that it was in the cupboard, and I sort of found that one day. I didn't even know he had it, and that was probably where it started. And then the first electric I got was a Japanese Strat.
Yeah.
For one of my birthdays, I think, and you mean like the guitar itself, or
What guitars? What guitars did you start off with?
What guitars? Like actual instrument?
I guess
So the nylon string.
Nylon.
Then then you go to steel string because you're upgrading, and even when you get that first steel string, it's like, wow, it sounds so exciting compared to the nylon.
100%.
And then then they got the Japanese Strat with a little amp of some kind. So that that was the first three, and then I always liked Strats from then on.
Yep.
And sort of
and it's
sort of it.
Just sort of went from there, and eventually got to this.
Yeah, eventually got here. Playing gigs and stuff.
100%. So let's go through the gear, because that's part of this too. So let's start with guitars. What do you got on you right now?
This is a 64 Strat.
64.
That I found. It's or L series they say. And I found it in a second-hand shop in Coolangatta when I was up there.
Coolangatta.
On tour with Jimmy Barnes.
Yeah.
So it's got a new neck on it at the moment. It got the old neck at home. But I played this, probably had it for 20 years, probably, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
But the new neck is just because the old neck was a bit sort of hard to keep
straight.
And keep straight, and it was, always trying to set it up. But this is just more solid.
More solid.
Yeah.
So, right now, body's original, pickups original. Everything's original except...
I think some things might have been changed, like, obviously that's a five-way.
Three. And
I think maybe one of these has been changed, the tuning pegs, but I mean, on the original neck.
Yep.
And, I think one of the pickups has been rewound, but...
Beautiful.
But it's a workhorse, not really a jam piece. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this is your main guitar. This is what you're smashing with Jimmy, you're smashing with Richard.
Well, I use it less with Jimmy.
Yep.
Because it's sort of more of a humbucker gig, but that's my go-to if I've got a choice. Unless it requires something else.
100%.
Yeah.
And I guess we can't really get a flavour for it at the moment, we've got some. We'll cut in some footage of you shredding with that. Yeah. But okay, so next after this guy, we've got your other Strat that you've got here. Now, I got you.
Yep.
So tell me about this one, because I love this guitar.
Yeah, I love it too. So it's a copy of Rycuda's Cudacaster, they call it, which is, you know, obviously a Strat with, that's like a lap steel pickup that they make that now. Lola make that one.
Yep.
But I think on Rycuda's one, it's actually from a lap steel and it's got the big metal bit there, but
yep.
that's made to drop in.
Yep. So that's a Lola, is it?
Yeah, it's a Lola, yeah.
Yep.
I don't even know what they call it, but it's a Lola. Yeah, they only make one.
Yep.
And this is a Tiesco gold foil, which is from an old Tiesco guitar, but they sound really good. So the pickups are good. And,
yeah.
And it's usually tuned to open D or sometimes open C. But in this gig tonight, it's usually for slide, this guitar. So tonight it's sort of in standard E flat tuning.
Yeah.
And then in open G for a song. So yeah, that really works with slide because the single notes really, you know, sting through.
Yeah.
Whereas they kind of get lost on this a little bit. So that just a bigger sound.
I getcha.
Yeah.
And I've just wanted to come in close here for a second. You can see the foil that you've put here and here just to cover up the holes.
Yeah, that was this guy actually who built this amp as well. But he built this guitar for me, Rick Taylor. So he just did that, which I thought was good way
that's
to
really cool.
Make some holes
the
look cool.
fine touches, and also everyone can see the strings actually go under the pickup top there,
like a little bridge.
So yeah, and it's a hardtail on a Strat and everything. So yeah, no, that's gorgeous. And the neck is
that's like a warm-off. It's one of those parts necks, you know, parts caster
course.
necks.
Parts caster.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we went through a few parts casters with your other compatriot over at Jimmy with Ben. All his parts casters. Yep. Now, what have we got here?
This is an R7, I think they're called. Goldtop reissue. I think it's a 57 reissue. Yeah. So that was actually came through Jimmy Barnes. That was originally his, and he was a sort of a gift. I see it as a long-term loan, but so I think it's an R7.
Yeah. Jimmy, look, Jimmy, if you ever want it anywhere else, it needs to go. If Danny doesn't want to keep it anymore, you know. But no, gorgeous. And so, do you know what year this might be, or
2014-ish, I think.
2014. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's got that nice chunky neck as well.
Yeah. So,
and I have noticed. Is that a little?
It was a repair. Yeah.
Little repair in there. I think everybody knows it's not an if, it's a when with a Gibson headstock. So, but that's beautiful.
But good repair. Don't even really know it's there. You know. So yeah.
Absolutely.
When you're playing it.
Now I suppose we're doing your electrics. While we're here, let's just jump into the acoustics as well. You've got two acoustics going on. Should we start with this guy? This your main?
That's the main one. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Bit tangled up.
Getting a bit tangled. Yeah. It's got 100 leads coming out of it.
Yeah.
So, tell me about this bad boy.
So it's a Jackson Browne signature Gibson.
Yep.
And it's I think it's based on he played this Roy Schmeck model.
Yeah.
That was originally a lap steel, so it's a bit deeper there, I think. And and the neck has kind of been same scale, but it's been pushed into the body. So it's sort of like the whole guitar's shorter, but the scale's the same. So apparently, it's just I think they did it for the bottom end back in the day. But it's got a trans audio amulet pickup in it, which is what Jackson Browne uses, and I got it because we supported him with Richard Clapton, and he was playing all these vintage acoustics on that tour, and it was like out the front. I was like, "What's that pickup and all that?" So I got it from I got worded out from his tech about that.
Absolutely, and I noticed that. So, are you running another pickup inside, or is it all coming off this guy?
Well, it's the input. The inside pickup's the amulet that comes with it, and then this is like a like a magnetic addition that runs with it, just to fill it out a bit more.
Okay, so you got the Duncan and the amulet. Running side by side.
Yeah, so then it's running together.
So is the amulet an under saddle piezo strip, or is it
it's sort of like these two look like Lego blocks, and they're meant to sort of pick up the direct sound from the bridge, but also some of the reflections. So I think it's sort of Neil Young's pickup system it's based on that, which I think was. I don't really. I'll get it wrong, so I'm not going to say. But but it's the most real sounding pickup I've tried. So it actually sounds like the acoustic.
And that's
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, you know.
Yeah.
The amount of times we hear it acoustic doesn't quite get there, but,
Yeah.
you know. So we chuck that back on the stand.
Yeah.
Now, your last acoustic here.
Yeah.
Takamine?
Takamine, yeah. And this one is just because we're doing an open tuning song in the acoustic set, but yeah, I think it's the same one Bruce Springsteen uses, and Takamine. Yeah, I got that from them, and it's a good strummer.
Yeah. What tuning are you using this in?
That's Dadgad today. Yeah.
Dadgad.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, just quickly as well, wanted to just get string gauge on your electrics.
Yeah.
So what are we using as far as string gauge?
So using the string joys that you helped me out
String
with,
joy?
and like 11, 14, 18, 28, 42, 54, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And we're tuned down tonight, so it's a bit easier.
Yep.
Yeah.
And is that the same on your other guys?
Yeah, well, the slide guitar's got like 15s on it because it's open tuning and just for slide, so heavy. But same for the other ones, and the acoustics are 12, so I think 12 to 54s.
Beautiful. 1254s. Are you using coded, uncoded?
Uncoated, yeah.
Uncoated.
Yeah, I'd probably use coded, but I change them so often anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but there's
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So let's follow the signal chain, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
So you got pedals next. So we've got.
So go into the wire,
Yep.
and we're going into the octafuzz.
Octafuzz from full tone.
Yep.
Yep.
Into the tuner,
Yep.
back down the bottom there, into the blues driver, Keeley blues driver.
Keeley. Oh, so it's got the mod in it.
It's got the mod.
Yep.
Yeah. Into the rat. It's like a vintage, it's a reissue rat. Into the King of Tone, Analog Man.
Yeah.
And it's into the Voodoo Vibe, Roger Mayer. Into the Flint,
Yep.
and then into the H9.
Yes.
That's it. And then into,
Now, just with the, I suppose, with the H9, what are you using the H9 for in there?
just some delay, the odd bit of delay.
Yep. Like a tape?
Yeah, tape delay.
Tape delay.
And a bit of and a slap in there. And I think there's some songs I use like a big reverb for some atmospheric things, like one song.
Yep.
And then into the humdinger,
Yes.
which is really just for the phase to make sure the amps are in phase.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah, into the amps.
Into the amps. Okay. So from there, we're going into the amps.
Over here.
So this is amazing. So I don't know which one we start. Which one's doing most of the load?
Well, this one's kind of got the most headroom, but they're kind of hopefully equal in the mix because it's the 410s in this one. So so they're both running the equal simultaneously. Yeah.
Okay, so you're running them simultaneously the whole time.
Sort of
They're not. You're not on-offing or anything. No.
They're just mono. Yep.
So, super reverb.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8, as you said, 410 inch.
Yep.
What is this?
I think it's a 68. It's like a silver face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 68 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and then you got the Princeton. This is one of the Princetons I don't see as much, though.
Well, yeah. This is actually not a Princeton. Funny enough, it's a Tweed Deluxe that a guy built and put the Princeton thing on it. His name's Rick Taylor.
So Rick Taylor who built
the guitar, and so it's essentially a Tweed Deluxe Fender. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, with the Princeton plate on it. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So Tweed Deluxe and super reverb.
Yeah, and there's a 12-inch speaker in that, so I find that with this one, it's like you get the nice highs and bottoms.
Yep.
And this is kind of more mids, so they kind of work good together.
Yes. I find so often people are doing a crossover with 2 amps. Like you know how like in a hi-fi speaker you'd split the frequencies. You keep in.
It's like this one's filling in the holes of that one. Kind of thing. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Now I guess with one last thing that we'll just talk about is just your. This is one of the things I don't get to necessarily interview as much about. Acoustic pedal board.
Yeah.
So you're going 2 pedal boards here.
Yeah.
This is super cool. So run us through what you're doing here.
So the tone bone pre is really just blending the 2 pickups out of this, like the magnetic and the trans audio.
Yeah.
And then you're just blending it through there, and that's just a preamp with some EQ.
Yep.
You can do lots of stuff, but like roll off the bottom and notch out frequencies, but we don't really need to do that here, so we leave it all open.
Yep.
And it's got a mute's always handy.
Yeah.
To tune, and then a boost if you want to do a little solo. So that's what that is, and then this pedal which you kind of hooked me up with.
I did hook you up with the old Empress.
The Empress compressor, it just fills it out a bit more. A bit more sustained, but it's got the parallel mix, so you don't really lose any of your front end.
Yep.
And then just the super octave in poly mode, which just which you can sort of set it just so it gives you like a low octave on your chords.
Yeah.
So just, especially in the songs where it's just, you know, one guitar and no band, just usually kick it off when the bass player comes on, but
Yeah, it just gives you a bit of full. And are you running basically the compressor's always on? Is that?
Yeah, it's just sort of part of the sound. And it's only blending in a little bit to fill it out. Yeah,
absolutely.
Or sustain.
That's cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Danny. Now we got a bit of a tradition, and I got to ask you, mate. We all have opinions about things when it comes to music, guitarists, other musicians. Mate, what's your hot take?
Take something I've been reminding myself of recently is it probably sounds obvious, but trying to remember to feel the music as you're playing it. You know, like it's easy to get in your head about, you know, you got to learn the arrangement, you're trying to remember what to do, what's coming next, you know, but so that's trying to keep that in mind is probably the top of my mind at the moment, you know, like just, and you know, not trying not to analyze what you're doing while you're playing or judge it, you know, like just letting it come out, but you know, trying to focus in on, you know, like what can I, you know, this note I'm playing now, what else can I ring out of it, or you know, like just try, so and if you're judging yourself, you're sort of, you know, you're not in the moment because you're thinking about the last chorus that you messed up or whatever, so you just go, and just trying to commit to what you're playing, you know, like just go for it, you know.
Absolutely. Now, question to follow up with that: do you find that you do the same thing when you're listening to other people play music?
Not as much. No, I just enjoying what they're doing, and everyone's different, and you know, like everyone has got the personality, you know, and it's not like and
so you're just trying to let it take it in, like you're not sort of picking it apart.
I definitely appreciate things like if something takes your ear, go, what was that? You know, and you might want to try and work it out, but I'm not really. I just, you know, let everyone be themselves, and man, there's no right or wrong, you know.
Absolutely.
But some people obviously, you know, move you more than others, and that's just personal taste, you know. So
absolutely.
It's always trying to keep, you get excited when you hear someone that, you know, gives you a vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know what? You need to give some of these people a good vibe tonight. So thank you so much for coming on the show, mate.
Thanks for coming, man.
Always appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time.